This time of the year makes us all think about family and the importance of keeping them safe. Just like my mom did over 30 years ago by choosing Honda. You can lease the 2018 Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive for only $197 per month. That's peace of mind for only $197 per month. I'm Jason Perico for Bianchi Honda, and I promise to help you find the right Honda for your family.
Welcome back. Time now for the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show. He is the head coach, Brad Rzyczycki. Coach, welcome back. Of course, we're talking video games when you walk in. That's the new main topic of the show. So your Browns got to win.
I saw. Yeah, absolutely. The game was on late, though. I mean, it ended at like 12, 12:30. It was exciting to watch, though. It obviously had its dramatic moments in Baker Mayfield. I'm not in touch with anything that's going on, but it certainly looked like a cool game to watch.
Cool, good stuff. Clarion Gannon, this game a close one, 14-9. And I'll tell you what, it was right there for either team to take, really. I mean, there were highlights in this game for both sides. Of course, there were lowlights as well. But let's start early in the game. First quarter, it seemed like tough sledding for Marcus Jones. Somebody called earlier this week asking about the offensive line. If there's something that's changed and you're not getting as much done with Marcus Jones as you had in the past.
Well, first and foremost, arguably one of our better offensive linemen is Kylie Smith. He's our center, and he had the high ankle sprain that happened 2 weeks ago, and that doesn't help. And we are playing a freshman, Montana Neatert, who's done a really good job. He's just not ready, football physical-wise. He's going to be a really good football player as time goes on. But it's a whole new transition when you're a true freshman trying to go out there and play. We got to do a better job as a coaching staff, too, of running the right plays. There are some things that are getting taken away. We have to execute in the pass game to open up the run game if people are going to continue to stuff a lot of people down there. So there's a lot of variables that go into it. We've got to do a better job with the pass game to help the run game at times. I think we have to do that moving forward. But we've got to get him on the field. We've got to get the schemes right. We've got to get the ball back into his hands. We all know what Marcus can do when he's got the ball and he's ready to go.
Clarion defensive line looked tough. I mean,
they're good.
Two guys on there that, at least in the first half, they had a lot of energy.
We've respected their defensive line. Those two kids have played, the two interior kids, for the last 3 years. They're really hard to move, and we have a difficult time moving those guys off the line of scrimmage. But they're good football players.
Would you have liked to be able to do? How do you combat a talented defensive line? Do you move laterally? Is that one way to do it?
At times, yeah. I mean, we still have to run our schemes. I mean, there's still things that we missed on the field. A little bit of it, when you go into the game, I thought Jason Dombach did a good job taking over for Jimmy Keefe, but when you lose him in the second series and you're starting quarterbacks taking all the reps during the course of the week, you're sticking that kid in a very tough situation. So you try to limit a little bit what maybe the play calls are that get us into some different things. But that's not an excuse anymore. I mean, Jason's taking all the reps this week, and he should be good to go and comfortable with what we're trying to run out there. But, yeah, we have to do a better job of coaching it and executing it.
He looked like kind of a reliever that was put in, and he already had a count. He came in and
it's a good way of putting
an injury to a pitcher. So he comes in the first drive. You ran with the quarterback, and then I think you tried to get the ball to Jones again, if not blanks, and stall out. But then you come back and he makes a marvelous throw down the left side of the field.
No, he's a talented kid. If he went into the 2 games last year at the end of the year, Clarion and Millersville, and won the games for us. I mean, he started those games last year, so it doesn't lack experience. It's just when you're seeing a different scheme and you don't get a ton of reps, you're kind of thrown into the fire. And he didn't have a ton of help. At times we busted some routes on being ran out there. We had to stick some receivers in some situations where, they were playing a variety of different positions out there. So collectively, I think coaching staff, players, everybody, we have to do better offensively than we did on Saturday.
Jimmy Keefe, did the injury come? It came on the play. He dove for a few more yards. Right?
Well, he was trying to get to the sideline, and he just couldn't make it.
So he wasn't diving for a first down so much. That's how I had put it. He was diving for the sideline itself.
Yeah, he just was. He got tracked. He got tracked by the I think it was a defensive end that ended up landing him. He landed on his shoulder awkwardly. It happened right in front of my face.
Yeah,
and the way injuries have gone this year, I kind of looked at this and said, this is par for the course. But what's going on? But next man up mentality. Jason Dombach's got to go in there. He's extremely capable of getting the job done.
Do you have a philosophy as a coach that you talk through your quarterbacks? Because in football these days, quarterbacks have to run. It's that simple. Especially when you want to open things up for your talented running backs. Do you have a philosophy? Is that a situation you talk through? The reality is he was either going to get the sidelines or get crushed. So there was no not taking any contact. But if it were an option, do you prefer a quarterback to run out of bounds?
No, I mean, I think you got to have that fighter's mentality. He landed on the ground funny. It wasn't a malicious hit. It wasn't a violent hit, to be honest with you. It was more the way he landed and fractured his collarbone when he hit the ground. So you can't prepare for that. That's going to happen. That's in God's hands more than anybody else's. But we want to be aggressive from that standpoint. And obviously, if the moment doesn't matter, which most of all of them do, and you have easy access and you got the first down to get out of bounces, we're going to teach them that. Fourth quarters, we don't slide. We'll slide at different times if our pull reads are there with our read schemes. But I don't want to take the toughness out of these kids either. I mean, Jimmy Keefe's a tough kid, and what happened to him is, that's in God's hands, not ours.
Sure. You at the running back position, do you have a rotation that you prefer? Are you trying to platoon, to take a term from baseball? Are you trying to platoon in the backfield in some way?
No, I think if we're moving forward, you're going to see Marcus Jones in the backfield. And if he gets tired, then you'll see Melvin Blanks and potentially Zevin Holly. But, he's our guy. We want to get the ball in his hands as much as we possibly can. So as long as he'll last, he's going to go.
And, of course, it doesn't hurt that Melvin Blanks, as we saw last week especially in filling in, he is a productive back.
Yeah, Melvin, we're extremely happy with Melvin and his productivity and how physical and coachable that kid is. I think he's somewhere in the top whatever from kickoff returns right now, so he's extremely capable.
Romel Jones does not look like a sophomore. Sometimes in coverage, maybe he does to you. You're a little bit more in tune with the film and things, but from the outsider perspective, he just makes some really nice plays in coverage.
He's a talented kid. When he's got his head on straight, he's about one of the best ones I've coached. But he gives us a lot of ability to be able to leave some receivers backside. I think him and A.J. Satcher complement each other because they're different. But I can match those guys up for potentially what we're seeing with a variety of different receivers, where Romel is a legitimate 6'2". A.J.'s more of a 5'9", 5'10" kid. A.J. sees the field really well to the field side. Romel's a really good boundary guy. So it's depending on where we're going, they give me some options out there.
Your defense, you gave up 14 points, right? That's not bad.
We gave up, if you look at it, we gave up 7. We fumbled the ball for a touchdown. Clarion only had 150 yards of total offense. So they went out, they played the scheme we had, they fought through it. We weren't perfect all day, but they played well for the most part. It's kind of go hand in hand all year. You look back at the different parts of these games, you can go all the way back to Southern Connecticut where we had a 25-20 lead, and the defense gave up a 5-minute drive for them to go up, which didn't help. And then I think you can go all the way through Kutztown. The offense played awesome for 3 quarters. We fell apart in the fourth quarter a little bit, no first downs, and the defense fell apart. So everybody's played a part in this thing, coaching staff, players. We've been in every game. We've been winning every game. It's just a matter of getting ourselves healthy and closing one of the things out. And I don't think anyone's going to sit there and feel sorry for us, or we're not willing to play the victim. So we just got to go earn one of these things, Alex.
My words, in my time here, I have seen far less dimensional Clarion offenses. They, for one thing, gave you 2 quarterbacks to deal with. 2 very different quarterbacks. Do you prepare for both of those guys going into that week?
Absolutely. Okay. We have a scouting report for both, and we didn't completely change scheme. I changed my calls a little bit for, which one sees better than the other. They're an RPO offense. One holds it a little bit longer, and we got to him. So we wanted to hit the kid a little bit. So, yeah, we absolutely knew that both of them were going to play. They played previous weeks to it. We saw 9 from last year. We never saw 12 before, but we got a good look at him on Saturday. But we prepared for both.
Have you ever had 2 quarterbacks on the field at the same time? Have you ever had 2 quarterbacks that you would work in some type of rotation?
Yeah, we did last year, the two years ago a little bit with Zach Phillips and Tyler Palka a little bit.
I forgot that Palka was seen as a quarterback. But do you think that football's moving in that direction? Like when I look at, hypothetically, I look at the situation in Cleveland, and one of the things I had thrown out there was Tyrod Taylor's a mobile guy. Baker Mayfield, same deal, but he's, I think, a better passer. Why not put them both on the field? What wouldn't work about that?
I don't know. I just know I spent a lot of time with OTAs and NFL people, and I don't care how fast that quarterback, he better be the kid from Baltimore. Those defensive linemen are as fast as QBs. So it's a whole different monster that you do have to sit in the pocket more in the NFL and be able to deliver footballs. So then you get out of the pocket. You can obviously see all the NFL rules with the quarterback roughing thing that are going on right now, but I think in college you can get away with it. The dynamic quarterbacks can absolutely insert themselves into the run game and add another gap and give you a lot of problems. And then you can get a pocket passer. If you get both, like the Lamar Jackson kid, you're golden. So yeah, maybe you got something there.
Maybe, we'll see. I wanted to ask you about the deep ball. We talked about how stout your defense was in general, but that was their one drive that they scored on, and it was, a 50-yard pass. I think they set it up with some pretty nice play calling because they brought in the kid that you're expecting to hand the ball off. They throw a few slants and then they bomb it deep. He probably killed you that they got behind your secondary. But.
Yeah, and we were man free in that scheme, and the free safety needed to get over top and help Martell Davis out a little bit. But I mean, to be honest with you, Alex, giving up 7 points and that being one drive, that's going to happen during the course of the game.
But that was it.
Yeah, most defensive coordinators walk into the game say if we give up 17 or less, your percentages of winning the game are really good. So it happens. The way the game is nowadays, and the fact that you got to be in a lot of man because of the run pass option stuff. You know, we do a good job now of teaching our kids to get back and getting a vision of, you know, where the quarterback's eyes are. But good quarterbacks that look people off, you know, it's going to happen every so often. But we got to coach them up better. So that's what happened on Saturday.
I don't want to beat up on a kicker, but a couple kicks are made in that game, and even late. I mean, you could have gotten into field goal range late, so one kick is made in that game, and this thing could have ended much
Absolutely.
different.
You know, and the kid knocks him down in practice. He's, you know, I'll be honest with you, to his defense, we got blown up at our guard position for one of the blocks that happened on Saturday. He didn't get enough height on the ball, but that wasn't his fault. We got ran through up front, so we have some personnel changes that are going to go into it. Those guys, they know that they're going to get run through. And you got to stick some tough kids in there just because they're vulnerable in that situation with their step down stuff. But one of them wasn't his fault. The other one, he was a little bit wide left on. We put him back in some distances. But yeah, him like everybody else has got to execute, got to knock it down. We're there to make plays and score points.
I get nervous when they punt the ball away to Nico Law, but then he runs it back like he did late in that game for 45, 50 yards. You're like, oh, that's why he's back there. That makes sense. But he did muff a punt early. I don't know if that happens throughout the course of a year, but Nico Law, does he do that? Is that a tendency of his?
No, I mean normally he's gotten better with it. I think my
He's
whole
still
thing.
a junior, right?
Yeah, my whole thing is putting someone back there that you feel comfortable catching the ball because it's up there. You know, you got people screaming down at you. You know, we do help him out. Try to help him out by maybe screaming fair, fair, fair on it. But it's a feel thing for him, and you got to be tough to be able to catch punts and catch punts to be able to run away.
Lastly, it was a big decision with 2:21 left. It's 4th down and long. You ended up converting. Was there any doubt what you were going to do in that situation?
No, I got a clock in my head. I knew at that point in time we had 2 timeouts. If we punted it away, even if they took a knee, it would be down to 110 at that point in time. They punt it back to us. I just thought that wasn't enough time having our second string quarterback in there for what was going on. We needed to go for it. So I called the timeout to be able to collectively come over there. We ran a dropout. Jacardi got to the sticks and we converted. So I was proud of him from that standpoint.
Executed perfectly. I mean, it was about 5 inches past the sticks. That's how you drew it up.
Yeah, sure.
Good stuff. You got Edinburgh on Saturday, 2 p.m. Edinburgh coming off of a tough loss to Cal. They are listening. What would you like to say about the game coming up on Saturday?
We're definitely the underdog walking into this one. They're a talented crew like they always are. They got the 3-headed monster still down there with number 5, number 1, and number 2. I mean, they're tough to defend from that standpoint. They do a really good job. I love what the offensive coordinator does with their offense and their defenses. You know, they create field position in every game that you watch. They pressure a ton. So we're going to have to go down there and play well. I mean, we're capable, Alex, of beating anybody. It's just a matter of us finishing this thing off and getting our guys healthy.
Coach, really appreciate the time. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, Alex.